Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are continuing our ongoing Shadow of the Demon Lords campaign. We are playing through the series of adventures in the Tales of the Demon Lord supplement. And tonight's session is session 3 of the adventure, The Moon Spire. With me tonight, so I guess I should say, if first off, this is the first time that you're joining us, you may want to go back and watch the last 2 episodes to hear what happened in the our heroes entered the Moon Spire. And secondly, if you plan to play this series of adventures at any point, spoilers will abound, so please proceed with caution. With me tonight are the 2 of the regular fixtures for the podcast and stars of this campaign. First up, we got Jeffrey.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff. I'm playing Matt, who's not a Dr. Baker. He is a sort of a wizard with a pistol, and Trader, a goblin shape-shifting raven ninja.
Yep. And joining him is Sivo.
Yo, I am playing Junus, a construct swashbuckler, Malar, a changeling. What the heck is she? Sort of a witch, and Hobie,
she's an artificer, right?
That? Yeah, artificer.
Artificer.
Yeah, sort of a variety of things, and then Hobie, the undead priest, the unholy trio.
Okay. So where we last left our heroes was trapped in different rooms in the Moon Spire. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up from where we left everyone. So first up is Millar, who you may recall, she's standing back, and what she last saw was a room that, very much like the other Moon Spire rooms, which is circular with white walls on the side. But this one is full of earth and giant fungal growths. There's a titanic red-topped or red-capped mushroom in the middle of the room, around which, almost praying, are a giant fungal hulk, which I'll just give a quick reminder to those at home what the lovely fungal hulk looks like.
It's very deadly.
Fungal beast.
Not only does it look like that, but it spews poisonous, horrible spore clouds.
Yes. And around him, or it, I should say, were much smaller versions of that. So what we're going to do is, for now, I think what we'll do is we'll stay sort of in combat. So what does Millar do? Or I'll just sort of do in rounds, I guess. So Millar is sort of at the edge of this room, of the circular room, about maybe a short distance away. We're still using zones, so about 1 zone away is where this Hulk is kneeled down before this giant mushroom, and they're flanked on either side. There are 3 and 3 smaller versions of him. What does Millar do, Steve?
Right. And how does she get out again? Is there a stone she can touch?
There is no obvious exit here. The walls, she moves whatsoever, she doesn't seem the giant hulking mounds don't seem to make any notice, or at least they make no movement.
Maybe she'll just stand there for a minute and see, and just sort of freeze and see what happens. See if she can sit there. Maybe if she waits, somebody else will turn up.
Steve, would you kindly make a perception check for me, please, for Millar? Or perception challenge, right. I should say. And remember, it's just if 10 or higher is good enough. I'm not sure if you've got any occupations that would give you any bonuses. And you guys all have fortune as well, too.
Hold on. Where's my playing boom 11-7.
Ooh, nice roll. All right. So as you're sort of making your way around and you're watching those those crouched forms, what you notice is that underneath one of those patches of 3, there is some kind of body in there, and you think that there is a pouch that seems to be partially dissolved, in which there are some sparkling coins.
Ooh, sparkly.
It seems as if these things may have grown out of that form. So,
very bizarre.
Yeah, you do a quick look around. There doesn't appear to be any obvious exit here. So this is another. This is consistent with what you understand of the Fae. What do you want to do?
Go on, sorry.
What do you want to do?
Let's see here. Gosh, this seems like a good chance to build something.
Why don't we do this?
But I think
I'll switch to, while you're thinking that, I'll swap to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to swap the orders here, guys. I'll stagger your characters around so it's going back here.
Yeah, she's going to wait and freeze and see what happens while she thinks about, she's going to hold an action maybe to the end of the round.
Sure. What is her, she's not holding, she's readying an action. Remember that ready action is like, if X, then Y. Right. What does she want to do?
Right. Well, really, I want to use the spell Augur divination tools to gain an insight into the future.
That's excellent. Okay, so once again, you reach into your bag, you pull out that kind of wax paper sealed little bundle of fish guts, you pull them out, and you clear a little spot on the ground and begin to sort through them on the ground. Did you spend your mana for that?
Let's see here. Mana will be 2.
Yeah, it's level 1. Okay, so you start looking through, and I think you're allowed. What is it? You're allowed to ask me one yes or no question. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Do you know what the question is?
Yes.
That was your question. No, I'm kidding.
It was a question. Okay, my question is, will longer than 5 minutes before one of my allies comes through this room?
That one, there isn't a definitive answer, so you can ask another question.
Ooh, okay. Did the kitties come out of that form?
You mean like the small?
In the future. Well, straight. My question is, Pac-Man.
There isn't a definitive answer there either. The reason I'm not trying to trip up your questions here, it's just that when there is a question of agency being involved in the future, I'm not sure you can determine one way or the other.
No quantum. Okay. Let's try another one. If I touch the wall, will I transport to another room?
No. Okay.
Okay.
So now we'll switch to where Matt is, and Matt finds himself trying to avoid the massive grasping hand of the clay form of the Goblin King. So this room is very much like the others. You may remember that there is a big pedestal atop which there is this clay statue of the Goblin King, and just as a refresher too, the Goblin King looks like David Bowie in Labyrinth. And when you approached one of those, there was a kind of like pinkish liquid that was dripping down from the ceiling and running down part of the statue and then part of the pedestal to this crack in the ground. And then there was a crack on the other side that was leaking orange gunk up, like defying gravity, to the ceiling.
Yeah, and I believe I went to go touch the orange one.
That's right. And then that this thing was reaching towards you. So
I believe it called me an interloper.
Yes, it did. So what are
What's Matt doing?
yeah.
He looks up at the statue and he says, "False! I am the new warden."
Okay. Do you back that up with any kind of magical juice, or are you trying to go on your wit?
Yeah, what can he do that's just something sort of flashy? Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to cast delay on him.
Okay, what does that do? I think if you click on it, it'll post it in the chat.
Or slow? Are they different? Up to 5. One is a will. On a failure, they're slowed. And delay, one creature you can see, make an intellect. On a success, the target becomes slowed for 1 minute.
Whoa.
Wait, where do you click on it to post it?
I think it's the little roll thing. We know the results of it will be fucked up.
Oh.
That mechanic isn't working properly, but
like if I do this, it'll just post what the spell does. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so let me see here. Who am I missing?
Oh, wait, I need to change this to Matt. So it's one creature you can see within short range. Make an intellect attack roll against the target's will. On a success, the target becomes slowed for 1 minute. Attack roll 20 plus the target also becomes impaired while slowed in this way.
Awesome. Okay. So go ahead and make your intellect attack roll.
Okay, so just click on intellect.
Yes. And I don't think you've got any boons or banes on this.
No.
Whoa, nice.
20 plus. Aha!
Fantastic. Okay. So hold on, I'm gonna grab my cheat sheet here to see what impaired does. Impaired, it makes all attack rolls.
I am the new warden, and he points his flashlight at him, or his sonic screwdriver, and he slows him.
Nice. So he can only take a slow turn. Its speed is halved, and it cannot benefit from an increase in speed. Awesome. So this thing is significantly slower than you are now. So it's gonna, it suddenly kind of hits like a slow motion, and its hand it's like every movie you've ever seen where there's a giant in it, where they're suddenly like,
Yeah.
What it's doing. Okay, so you still have. Are you taking a fast turn or a slow turn?
I don't think I had indicated.
Okay, I'm going to assume it's a fast one, just because you probably wanted to go before this thing.
Yeah, it probably makes sense.
Okay, so let's switch to Junis now. Now, actually, Junis and Hobie are in the same location, which is that room with the hanging white gossamer clouds around it.
Yeah, with some kind of a snake in the middle.
Yes, there was that hissing.
A snake hiss coming from the middle of the room.
Yeah. So we'll pick up sort of where like Hobie has had a chance to look and study this room, and you saw that there was some kind of form that seems to be hidden, standing quite tall in the middle of the in the room, sort of obscured by the hanging curtains. But you heard that hissing within the room as well. Judas suddenly appears next to him, and what do you do?
Dang. Well, what can he do? Can he look? Doesn't he have a skill that allows him to eavesdrop? No, I think that's what's her face. Word of the land, hold on, binding strike. No. Okay. Well, maybe he will do fade, and he'll go and approach the middle of the room to see what's in there.
Okay. So he starts approaching the middle of the room, and as you're getting closer, you hear that hissing is louder. And would you make a perception challenge for me for Judas?
Don't you have that snake charming flute?
Help.
He does have a scabbard that when he activates it, it will sing. Or it will make
There you
a
go.
song.
Singing
You will make what,
scabbard
sorry?
might work.
Remember, you got that scabbard that you found way back on your first adventure? It has the design of that weird, kind of like ropey dragon-looking thing. Hey, speaking of which, I've got the great picture for it now. Hi, sweetie. Sweetie. This is what it looks like, guys. Oh, gosh. Let me get that. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So that is what is carved into your scabbard. You may as well get a little closer. Remember I was saying about the buck teeth on the thing?
There it is. That thing looks like it has really bad breath.
Yes. That's also, remember what you saw. Remember inside the prison for the Mad Fae, the asylum slash prison. That was also carved on the walls. But anyway, that's what's on your scabbard. So when you activate it, you can make it sing.
Well, so wait, the room is dark, right?
No, there's a bit of an ambient light in here.
Okay. Well, he's going to cast Fade. He already cast it, so he's now invisible, basically. And he's going to wander towards the middle of the room to check out what's in there.
So who's doing that? Hobie?
Hobie.
Okay. Did you deduct his mana?
I did.
Okay. So what you find, Steve, is as you wander your way through, I'm going to make you make an agility challenge because, I mean, like, there still is all these curtains that you're going to have to try and avoid, but I will give you 2 boons on it. Plus, if you got any skill that you think is appropriate, you can get another boon from that. Or profession, I should say.
Well, there's spelunking. And there's tracker.
No, spelunking would involve, like, being careful where you put your feet and shit like that, so I'll give you that. So roll it with 3 boons.
Boom, what's up? 6 + 1. No, that's nice. Hey, wait, that didn't work.
You rolled 17. Your highest roll is a 6. Yeah, that works.
Oh, 15. There we go.
Yeah. That's an awesome roll. Okay, so what you're able to do is sort of slip your way through these rows of curtains, and in the middle of this room, what there is a large statue that is you kind of like catch your breath for a second because it's a alabaster white marble statue, or seemingly made of marble statue, with one hand up and another hand at the side, and it is Titania. It's that same, striking looking woman with like long angular features and sweeping stag's horns coming out of her forehead, long hair behind her. But wrapped around this statue is a like brownish green colored serpent of enormous length, probably 8 or 9 feet long. And you have to do a bit of a double take, but it has a head at each end. And that is the source of this. These creatures have these large eyes that are almost sparkling with color, and they radiate an incredible intensity to them. That's even though they're not locking eyes with you, you can't help but feel like your gaze drawn to them. And they're looking around and they're kind of flicking their tongues out, sampling the air as if trying to, find something. What do you do?
Doesn't sound good. Do I know what they are?
Why don't you make an intellect challenge for me? I think you could add occult to it, because I think he's trained in occult, right?
Boom. Is it? Oh, actually, maybe he's not. Just no. All right. So intellect. Boom.
Ooh, okay,
9. Wah,
yeah.
wah.
Never, you're not sure what this thing is. Weird is what you think of it. So maybe what we'll do is we'll leave Hobie and Junis there, and we'll cut to Trader, who you may recall was in that room with the big pile of comfortable pillows in the middle. And he was feeling waves of fatigue hitting him.
Yeah,
There's
he
no obvious
just
exit
rolled
here.
against falling asleep, I believe, last.
Yeah. So what does he want to do?
He is going to use his claws and shred the pillows in this room.
Okay. So just like tearing your way through these things. The room is full of down and and feathers and shit like that are just flying everywhere as you're tearing apart these things. It's full of pillows as well. So this is taking you a huge amount of time. As you're doing that, and leaping around, you're working up a not a sweat, because I don't think birds sweat, but you're breathing heavily, and what you find amongst there are two things. There is 3 hidden amongst the pillows. There are 3 little vials. 2 of them have a clear with little flecks of gold hanging in them, liquid inside. It has it's a square colored little flask that has made of blue dyed glass.
Wait, 3 vials, 2 clear with flecks of gold.
Yep.
And 1 with blue glass.
Yeah. So the 2 clear ones are sort of like they are sort of like pear-shaped little things. No, they're not very big, but they're both pear-shaped. And then the third one is a square little bottle with a stopper on top, but the bottle itself seems to be made of blue glass. So you are searching, kind of looking at these things, and the feathers are sort of flying around, and you look back and you realize that all of the pillows are effectively back again. Like they're not like reforming in front of you. It's just that as soon as you look away, they seem to be back.
Yeah, that's what he was. That's what he was exactly testing.
Okay. Would you make another strength challenge? One sec here with.
Oh no. Trader is not strong.
No, just a regular strength challenge.
Yeah, he is not good at this. He's a weakling. Oh my lord! You couldn't even roll worse.
You could not. You can't believe just how exhausted you are after doing that. And you sort of clutch these things to you, and then you just collapse down into the soft embrace of the pillows. So now we'll come back to Millar. So Millar is she's noticed that there's that that fallen form, a humanoid form with a pouch of coins that are split open, and these mounds of creatures growing out of it. What is she going to do?
I think she might want to make a little construct out of her artificer's bag and can she make a little gas mask for herself?
Yeah, because it's what is it? 5 GP times your level.
Yeah, that's right.
Then yeah, I think you guys are 5th level now, so that's 25 GP. I think for sure you could make something that would be able to do that.
Cool. Rock and roll.
So are you concerned about the spores from these things? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Would you make an intellect challenge for me?
All right. Intellect challenge, intellect. Yeah. Let's see. Benefit at all? Engineer? No.
Engineer. No. What's your other professions?
Fisher, navigation, occult.
I don't think so. I think just intellect. I'll tell you why in a moment.
Sure. Eventually, I will get this intellect check. 7.
No. So what I was gonna I'll tell you as a player, and just play Malar as if she doesn't know this. Remember that there's been one person you've seen die from these things, and it was due to the caustic nature of the spores. Eric didn't necessarily breathe them in; they just burned his skin, and he burned to death.
Very good. All right.
Ask me.
Once you get.
Yeah,
Yes?
I mean, not afford full protection for her, but
Right. Okay. What about, can she use her fishing rod? Can she use her fishing rod to pick up the pouch of coins?
sure. Like I'll. Yeah, I love that. So why don't you make an agility challenge for me? Actually, I'll make it a challenge versus their perception, and you will have a boon on this because of your fishing background. That's awesome. Best use of the fishing rod.
I like that one too. Target, that's not for me. Foretell. Okay. A.
You scroll on the main character sheet and just click on intellect and give one boon. No, I'm sorry. Give
boon. Hello? Agility and intellect?
no agility. Agility and one boon.
Agility.
Yep.
Gotcha. Here we go.
That's not good. So you have fortune, and what that would give you is an automatic success, or you can take the
yes. Yes. Sorry?
So just get rid of the fortune token on Malar.
Yes. Fortune.
So she goes out and grabs this thing and then wheels it back. It's actually what you find on there, Steve, is where is it here? Here we go. There are 3 silver shillings, 2 healing potions, and there's one other thing, and let's determine what it is. Would you kindly roll a d20 for me, please?
And rolling, pow, 20. So.
Okay. Roll a d20 again. Actually, then one more time.
14.
Yeah, and then one more time, please.
And one more, it's 16.
Oh, that is really interesting. Okay, so what you pull back, Steve, is actually you managed to catch that, and as you're bringing it back, there's a chainmail coat that is caught on there too, and you sort of like, oh, and you sort of like yank, and you're able to whatever these process causes these things to grow out, actually causes them to, I guess, destroy whatever is under there. So like the rib cage and shit sort of collapses underneath the underneath these things without disturbing them, and you're able to drag this chainmail coat away from the body. You drag it towards you. You see that, I mean, it's obviously it's heavy armor, which requires a certain level of strength in order to wear it without penalty.
Right.
Which I do not think you possess. But there is a worked into the design of this armor. They need 13 strength to wear this stuff without penalty. Worked into the sort of the top and around are little animal designs. There are like birds in flight, and there are squirrels, and there are foxes and stuff. And there's around the neck, and then along the side as well too.
Sorry.
Yeah. So what we'll do is maybe as Laura's pulling it up, we'll switch now to Matt. So what is Matt doing while Steve takes his phone call?
Yeah, I'll be on. Hello.
Oh, Matt. What is Matt going to
While you're saying, I'm just going to run very quickly to the washroom. I'll be right back. Oh, hi, sweetie. Okay. Okay.
All right. Kidney Foundation. They always call it the worst time.
Yeah. It's all good. Kev ran to the washroom.
All right.
What is Matt going to do?
So have you seen Spider-Man?
No, not yet.
Me either.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
I did see Baby Driver, though. It was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Baby Driver's good.
Yes. You know what? The only thing the name is so fucking stupid that I can't get past it. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the hell out of the movie, but the name is so dumb.
Well, you know it's from a song, right?
No. What song is it from?
Baby Driver by Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Simon and Garfunkel fan, so
It's not the music in the movie is not actually all. It's from every genre. It's actually kind of a music movie.
To be honest, I've loved all of his movies, so I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this one. It's just the name is for me is so off-putting that I just do not care for it.
It does sound like kind of a dumb name.
No, I did see Spider-Man though on Thursday night. That's why I had to work all weekend because I fucking played hooky on Thursday night, Steve. Yeah, but it was amazing. And I will totally see it at the time as well. Yeah, I'm absolutely up for a second viewing. Okay, so Matt, what is Matt doing?
Is the giant statue still reaching down to try and grab me?
Yeah.
Or has it reacted to what I said?
Very slowly. So mechanically, it doesn't seem to be reacting to what you said, but it is very slowly, still trying to close in on you. Mechanically, it will be acting only on basically like at the end of the round, of the slow phase. So you'll be able to,
so I'm going to try and touch the orange stuff just like I was previously.
Okay. So you turn, you reach down, and you touch the orange stuff. Would you kindly roll 1d6 for me, please?
Dice. 1d6.
Sweetie pie.
The max. A6.
Ooh. Okay. You've vanished, and you suddenly seem to find yourself actually in the fungal garden, standing next to Millar.
Nice.
Millar's got this fishing line with like a rope or that chainmail armor she's examining, and the what do you call it? And then that little pouch full of was 2 healing potions, I believe. So 2 little vials of of this clear liquid with little flecks of gold hanging in it, as well as 3 silver shillings and that armor. Now, both of you are magicians, so you will both detect that this armor is giving off an enchanted aura.
Ooh.
So what do you guys do? You and Matt sees what Millar saw, which is that hunched down form and then the 3 smaller things. Would you, Jeff, kindly make another D6 roll for me, please?
Okay. Close the dice window. Roll. 5.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to find something, figure something out here, guys. Okay, so you vanish, and you reappear in.
Wait, Matt does?
Sorry, no, not Matt. Trader. Trader wakes up.
Oh.
And he's lying on the floor of a room that it's the same, shares the same dimensions as the others, though the ceiling is actually 10 yards tall. And stretching along the inside of the walls are more staircases, very similar to the ones you found in that first room that you came into, where you can sort of walk them up. And these ones are likewise sort of like, they're not even, like they'll go up and then they'll kind of go down a bit and then aside, and they wind, like they fill the walls as if they're sticking out. And each of these, there seems to be about roughly three staircases out of these, each of which leads to a closed door that stands midair at 3 different heights. Each of the doors has a different look to them too. One has a great eye in its center. The second has a bas-relief of an androgynous elf with its eyes closed. And the third is smooth and featureless.
Great eye, elf, and smooth.
Yeah. So you're sort of looking around. You were also quite well rested, you feel. So any expended resources you have now regained.
Oh, nice. I like that room.
So while Trader's deciding what to do, let's cut back to Hobie and Junus in the room with that statue and the double-headed snake. What is Hobie doing now, Steve? He saw that thing and still invisible for the time being.
Right. So what the heck can he do? Let's think here. So he's gonna creep back to Junus for starters, and then he's gonna sort of say, "Hey," he's gonna sort of mention that there's that thing in there, and yes, and then confer with Junus about what to do.
Okay. So what do you guys? You'll have basically as much time as you sort of want to make your decision. What would you like to do?
All right. Should we sort of why don't we hold hands and try touching the wall together or something?
Okay. So you hold hands. You touch the wall, and nothing happens.
Oh. Well, at least we're holding hands.
At least we have each other.
Well,
cut back then to Matt and Millar. What are you guys doing? So you're standing in that fungal room with the giant slouch thing. So Matt, no doubt, is a little. He's only faced one of these things once, but he remembers the danger that came with that.
Millar whispers, and then she says, "Touching the wall does nothing." She whispers.
Okay.
And says, "What about the mushroom?" She sort of signals, like, "What about the big mushroom in the middle?" Maybe we should try eating some of it.
Yeah, maybe. Matt's, or at least we could start by touching it. Have you tried touching it?
I have not tried touching it. No.
Yeah, because to touch it, these things are sort of circling half of it, so you're going to be getting. You could conceivably like make your way to the far side and then go in. But yeah, so you're not getting too close to the fungal creatures. But what do you want to do?
I mean, sure. Like every time we've interacted with the room in some way, we keep teleporting. So, I mean, the thing in this room that it seems like there is to interact with is this mushroom.
Right. Hands. Why not? Oh wait, yeah, why not? And then hold the touch it together.
Sure. Let's run over there and touch it.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're holding hands, we'll for sure go to the same place.
Hopefully.
Okay. So you guys go. Like, are you just going to run like straight to where those creatures are, or are you going to try and avoid them, or what?
I mean, try to avoid them. We're not going to, charge at them, so to speak. But
So I'm going to assume that you guys are going to like the opposite side of the room, and then you're going to make a run directly in. So you go racing in, tromping over these mushrooms that grow progressively larger as you get closer to that giant one. And as you're getting, you're within about maybe like 5 or 10 feet of the thing, you can hear and there's a stirring on the far side of the mushroom. As that thing shakes itself loose, and you hear sort of a wet as something else is moving as well. You go racing up to the mushroom, and the cap hangs like way down, so it while the thing stands probably about 10 or 12 feet in the air at the peak, the sides sort of drip down like a soft like hat, and end up, so it's only about maybe 3 feet off the ground at the lowest point. So you go racing up to it, and you're able to touch it. And nothing happens. We're going to be in the combat now. So, do you guys want to take fast turns or slow turns?
Yeah. Slow.
Slow, okay. Well, Matt.
I guess you'll take a fast turn.
Okay. Touching this thing, you realize that this thing would break off quite easily.
The whole mushroom?
Like bits of it, like you could break off a bit of it quite easily just from touching the thing. It seems to almost wanting to tear away already.
All right, let's eat a piece.
Eat it.
So Matt, rip off a piece and jam it in your mouth, and you're gone. Millar, what are you doing? You will act on a slow turn. These things are taking slow turns. Eat it. Okay, so you do this. And you grab it and jam it in your mouth. Okay, so we'll return to the two of them in a moment. You guys and Hobie. What are you doing? So they've come.
Yes.
They tried touching the wall. That didn't do anything. But they have that statue in the middle of the room with the giant snake on it.
Right. Oh, with a giant snake is no good. Maybe they should try to kill the snake. Kill the snake. Does Hobie know what it is?
Hobie did not. He made the roll before. I remember, just as a reminder, the statue has its hand on its hip, and the other hand is sort of up like this.
Okay.
So what would you like to do?
In that case, maybe they'll try. they're gonna attack the snake. Hobie's gonna cast Misdirect on it, and then Junis is gonna run in with Revel's Blessing on him, and then do a guided or sort of a feint.
Okay. So, okay, so basically what you're gonna, you sort of like, are you just gonna cut your way through the curtains to get there, or what? Because remember the statue is surrounded by those walls of curtains. You can make your way through it, but Hobie had the benefit of being invisible when he went in the first time.
Right. Maybe we can sneak up and then try to, or we'll try to surprise the thing by running through the curtains.
Okay, so you're racing through the curtains. As soon as you break through, those two heads kind of turn and look towards you. Would both Hobie and Junis please make will challenges for me, please?
Shit.
This unfortunately happens before you get a chance to get your attack off.
Although I guess that means Hobie still has his blessing.
Yep.
Okay, so what am I rolling again?
Your will, please.
And he will take a boon on that.
Okay, from the Rebel's Blessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all he gets, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
17.
Yes, that's fine. Okay, and then for Junis?
All right. Willpower, because he got something he can use? Oh my gosh. Agility challenges. Abilities. In social situations. Is this a social situation? No.
No.
Combat. Immune. Immune from disease, poison, asleep, disease, fatigue, poison. That's not gonna do much. Mechanical body. Okay, here we go. And rolling. Oh, hold on. Rolling and 19.
Nice.
Natural 20. Oh my gosh.
It was -1. That's great. Okay, so you guys go charging in. What happens? These two things lock eyes with you, and those bizarre, multicolored eyes seem to be trying to to fix you in place, to root you in place with its beguiling will. But you shake them off and come charging in, and let's see how you do on your attacks. You can go with whoever you like.
All right, so Junis is gonna get Bane, so he gets 2 boons and 1 Bane on his opponent.
Yep.
All right, Jotun Saber. Here we go. 2 boons. And what's up? 23-7.
Nice. Okay, so roll an extra d6 because that's over 20, and you get to make and then roll another one. So you're rolling 2 extra d6, Steve, because you rolled over 20, and you beat his defense by 5.
Yep.
And there's no secondary target, so I'm assuming you just want to do extra damage against this thing.
Let's do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow, 5.
Like, you almost sever one of the heads with that strike. It's brutal. So what does Hobie do?
Well, Hobie casts Misdirect on it. Is it 1 snake with 2 heads, or it's 2 snakes?
No, 1 snake with a head on each end. So Misdirect is what? It's against its will?
It is. Come here. It is make an intellect attack roll against the target's perception.
Okay, nice. Go ahead and make your intellect roll, attack roll.
Makes its attack roll to 1 Bane for 1 minute. Okay, so I'm making an intellect attack roll. Do I get anything? No.
Nope.
Okay. 12.
What happened? That didn't sound good.
12.
12. Okay. What are you snorting for? What are you snorting for? Snorter. All right. That is not, unfortunately, not good enough. This thing is quite perceptive. So you try and work Rebel's blessing on this thing, but let's make its attack roll here. So this thing leaps forward at Judas. Does a 13 hit him?
Hit you? No.
Nice. So this thing seizes towards him, and Judas is able to get that massive shield of his up, and he batters it to the side. Okay, so then that's the end of the round. Top of the round. Do you want to take fast turn or slow turn?
Let's see. Let's go with a fast turn and I'm right there, right? So we could just go with a fast turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Fast turns, and this thing you'll act before this thing. So who would like to go first?
All right. I think Hobie's gonna go first here. Hold on here. What's he gonna cast? He's gonna cast. What is this guy? Yeah, I think he's gonna try. It's a nice cheap spell, so he's gonna go with misdirect again.
Okay. So make your attack roll, and then make Junus's attack. Why don't you just make Junus's attack, because he may actually kill this thing already.
Let's do that. Okay. It's the same one. 2 boons, guarded feint.
Whoa, that is
And
another 20. So yeah, how does this thing die, Steve?
so Judas gives one head one whack, and then swoops the sword around in a graceful arc, and double deals, and then it hits the other head as well, and both heads sort of fall off.
To give you an indication of how savage that strike was, you would have pretty much killed it outright with that one hit.
Wow.
So yeah, so that thing lies dead on the ground. Its blood seeping out into the ground, and then being kind of like wicked up by the hanging curtains. So they're slowly being stained with its blood. What are you guys doing? So there is that statue.
Now we'll inspect the room.
Sorry, which?
Now we shall inspect the room and the statue.
Sure. Okay. So the statue is as I described it. There. Yeah, there's nothing else really of interest in here.
Okay.
So what do you want?
I guess we'll hold hands and we'll try touching the statue together.
Okay. So you touch the statue. You touch the what do you call it? Well, that's cool. How'd you get that 2 on there, Steve? On Hobie's thing?
I have no idea. Let me try that again. Weird.
Well, it's back in his. Yeah, that's weird. That is so weird. Nice. Working your magic there, Steve-O. Okay, so you guys lock hands. You touch the thing, and then, oh my God, Hobie died again.
Ow. Always. You killed Kenny.
What happens is, Trader, you're standing in that room with all the doors, and then suddenly your 4 other companions appear next to you.
Huh.
Where you guys are is in this room. Like I said, it's about 10 yards tall. It looks like it's the same dimensions in all the other rooms, but there are those 3 staircases leading up to 3 different doors, one of which has a... Where is it? One has a great eye in its center. One has a bas-relief carving of an androgynous elf with his eyes closed, and then one is smooth. I think at this point, Trader, you'll have had like an opportunity to do a little bit more of an inspection of these if you choose.
Yeah, I guess he probably would have flown up and checked them over. He didn't try to go through them or touch them, but
there's nothing of interest about 2 of them. With a smooth one, actually, as you get closer, it feels quite cold.
Okay, so when he's circling around it, and that's when everyone else appears?
Yes.
And he quickly flies down and lands on Matt's shoulder.
Okay.
And squawks at him about what happened.
One second.
Matt sort of translates for everyone.
So there's one other feature in this room as well I failed to mention. On the ground, and maybe this just appears when you and your colleagues appear as well. On the floor, right in the center, there is a podium on which rests a stone tablet bearing a magical inscription that who is the highest power right now? I think it's either Matt or Millar or Hobie. So I think maybe all three of you see this. And for each of you,
what's power? Oh, Matt has 3 power.
Yeah, okay, so I think all three of you have a power of 3. Each of you sees this, and it's in your native tongue. So Matt, I think it's English that he sees it in, and it's the first time he's seen English in quite a while. Hobie, it's probably in like the common trade tongue. And Millar, it's probably in Elvish. So what do you guys want to do?
Read it.
Okay. So are you reading it loud, or are you just reading it?
He'll read it, and then, you know,
Everyone
leave
reads
enough
it.
room for everyone else to read it as well at the same time, so you can just read it out to us.
Would you each make an intellect challenge for me, please, with 1 Bane?
Any trades?
Anyone who's got occult can gain a boon for it.
All right, which evens out.
But don't you still roll them both, or no?
No. Well, in this roller, it won't. You don't.
Oh, so you just okay? Yeah, I have occultist.
In this, to be honest, that's the way it's supposed to work in the game as well. Like you net your whoa, nice roll by Millar.
Boom.
Okay. So you read this. Each of you. Okay, Matt doesn't. Whoa, no, not. Was that supposed to be Hobie?
Oh, he's coming.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
so
does anyone with power get to read it?
yeah, it's only anyone with a certain level of power gets to read it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so all three of you guys sort of read this at the same time, and then the pillars, the words which are carved in that tablet, they sort of there's a flash of light up from them, and then the pillar itself seems to corkscrew down into the floor, and then as soon as it hits flush with it, there's a flash, and there is a like human-sized doorway standing there, or a man-sized doorway standing there, and on one side there is a white light that seems to come out of it, and on the other side you can't see what's beyond, and on the other side there is deep ebon blackness, and you can't see beyond. There seems to be, if you try to like look on the side, you can't seem to find an edge where it's a perfect side of it. So it seems like you're always either looking at one side where there's the white coming out, or one side where there's the darkened black. So you guys all kind of take a step back.
So there's like 5 doors we can go through right now.
There are effectively 5 doors, yes. So what would you guys like to do? These seem to be the ones most suffused with power, though.
Right, like I'm guessing the other 3 take us to 3 places within the tower. Like the staircase ones. And this is like an entrance. This could be the entrance and the exit. Like one side would take us back outside to the world, and the other one maybe takes us to, what's the place called? The underworld, or the
The Hidden Kingdoms.
The Hidden Kingdoms. So maybe going through it one way is the Hidden Kingdoms, and the other way is back to the normal world.
From your roll from before, you know that this spire itself, the Moon Spire itself, seems to fade into the Hidden Kingdoms. Like when it disappears from the mortal realm, like when there's not a full moon, you're assuming that's where it goes, as it goes to the Hidden Kingdoms.
Mm. So what do you think, Millar? What did you get from the book?
Well, not much different than you, I'm afraid.
So did it not say anything that we could read, Kev?
Say again?
The book itself, or the stone tablet.
The book seems to be gone. When there was that flash of light when this portal appeared, it seems to have disappeared.
Yeah, but what did it say when we read it?
It was a the word said.
Do you all remember something different, or what?
It's a distinctly, like you discuss it over. You realize that everyone saw it was a different word, but it was the same word in each language for the word open.
Hmm.
Well then, perhaps we should walk through it together.
Yeah, into the light or into the dark?
Pick one.
I don't feel like there were any clues along the way of the tower to indicate where they would go. There was one black room with black walls.
Right.
A darkness room, but all the rest were white.
That's true. Track them down, right?
Well, Kev, when we came in to the tower, the doorway was just shining light out at us, right?
There was bluish light that was coming around the sides, but the door itself was white as well.
So going through the white door brought us in. I don't know. What do you think, Steve? White or darkness or light? Which way do you want to go through this door?
Hard to tell. Well, I mean, like, we do have our crystal ball. We can still get home if we want it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if we want to track them down and see what we can find out, maybe go with the light.
Well, can Merlar use her fish guts on this?
Sure.
So you got, yes, spend the mana, and then tell me what your question is.
All right. Okay, what's our question here?
So ask if, has to be yes or no. So ask if the light leads to, why can't I remember what it's called? The hidden world, the hidden realm, or whatever, the hidden.
Mysteryverse.
Yeah.
Bizarre world.
Okay, so is that the question then?
Is that where we want to go?
Well, don't we want to go to the hidden world?
Yeah.
Or the hidden realm?
All right. Does the white door lead to the hidden realm?
The Hidden Kingdoms.
Realm.
Or the hidden kingdoms?
It's really weird. You're getting the result of yes and no, and then it's yes, and then it's no, then it's yes, and then it's no.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah, so one, the light or the dark does. It's treating the door, your augury is.
To be clear, it's just the white. I'm not fucking with you because it's two-sided. You asked a very specific question about the white side, so that's the answer you got for the white side.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully any current. So we have even chances of getting through the gate when we want to.
Can anyone speak Fae?
Maybe somebody can spend a fortune point or something mad or something, and then we'll hold hands and we just jump for it.
It's only man size. We can only go through one at a time, especially with Junis. Do any of your characters speak Fae, Steve?
No.
Oh, they speak Elvish. Is Elvish the language that the Fae speak?
Or Dwarvish. Truth. Oh, well, truth ear. That's not gonna work. Oh no, it does work. Actually, hold on.
So Matt speaks the word for open in Elvish.
Okay. And then what?
And then, well, does everybody else know it? I guess Trader's on his shoulder. I guess then he steps through, but which way? Through the light, I guess. Through the light side.
Okay. Is everyone going through that?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone stops through the light, and there's a brief moment where you all feel suffused in white energy or white light. It's blinding, and then it suddenly dims, and you find yourself in a it's in a chamber that is sort of similar to the rooms you've been in, but this seems to be it's more of a conical shaped room, where in it's completely featureless, but on the far side from where you guys have appeared, there is a kind of like brass colored keyhole that sits at the like right in the wall. There's no door or anything there. It's otherwise featureless, but there is a keyhole there. But sitting before you, though, is this enormous, like bear-sized hound. And this thing sits prop and is just glaring at you. It has featureless red eyes that seem to have like furnaces with heat kind of shimmering around them and smoke that pours out of them. Its mouth is open. Then you see these discolored, vicious-looking teeth inside as well. Its tongue hangs to the side, and there's this thick stench of sulfur in the air. And you hear this like voice in your head that says, "Interlopers, leave or die."
Matt pulls out his gun and starts shooting at it.
Okay, so let's go into combat here, guys. I take it Matt is doing a fast action.
Yeah.
Go ahead and mark your guys as fast action.
Okay,
Slow means you move first, right?
Say again?
Slow means you can like move and act?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay, action.
Okay.
Quick.
Awesome. Okay,
Here you go,
so
baby.
this thing is one zone away. So the fast turns, it looks like we've got Millar, Matt, and Hobie up first. Who's going to go first?
Well, I guess Matt is shooting his
Yeah,
gun.
you can start, of course. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right.
Please.
Matt, pistol, revolver. So I just click on this revolver thing. It should be correct.
Would be correct, yeah.
No boons, no banes.
Nice. Okay, that you hit this thing's thick hide. It sort of hits it, and it's so big and so powerful. It seems to have no effect on it.
But just so you remember, I have cold iron bullets.
Oh, you do. You know what? I will.
So I don't know if that matters to this creature, but just so you know.
It does. It does. It absolutely does. What I'll do is go ahead and make a roll 1d6. That'll be your boon. You should have a boon on the attack as well.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not far off from actually injuring this thing. That unfortunately will not do it. So there's a There's like as if it was a hot poker put out in water. There's steam coming out of that wound, but it seems to not. It doesn't seem to matter. Hobie or Millar next?
Maybe Millar is going to by my spell, right?
This thing is, you think?
Yeah, it can still be hurt by my spells. Do I think?
It could be. Oh, awesome! You know what? Yeah, interesting. Okay. What you gather from that sizzling thing, though, unfortunately, it was a through and through. But if you can get a solid hit on this thing, Jeff, like you get that inside it, this could really fuck up this thing. It would be like having a constantly burning bullet inside of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So sorry, Steve. I mean, you don't necessarily know what. Well, actually, you know what? You can make a occult roll for me. And actually, what I do need from you guys is a will check for me for everyone, because this thing is terrifying.
Okay, occult check. So that is intellect, right?
Yep.
And with a boon.
It's will. Oh, okay. Okay, that's your will. Your intellect, yes. Occult is a will, is an intellect, but yeah, I need a will check from you as well too. Oof, who failed that will? That first one.
That's Matt. I'm trying to roll under their actual name.
Oh, sure. Okay, I just don't see Matt's name on. Okay, so Matt.
Information from his attack.
Okay, so Matt. Unfortunately, he gains 1 insanity, and what's the total? What's his total insanity now?
Where's insanity? Oh, there. He has 4 insanity.
Ooh. So for 4 rounds, he's going to have 1 bane on everything because this thing is just terrifying to him.
Yikes.
Okay, so
how much insanity till you're like crazy?
Millar, you know exactly what this thing is. Everyone else is okay. I just need one from Junis and one from Hobie. Millar, this is a Barghest. This is a hound of hell itself. And the stench that you smell is the thick breath that you've smelt when Diabolus has spoken to you closely.
Oh, no.
So I just need, will checks from Junis and from Hobie.
No.
And then we'll go on to Millar's turn.
Oh, nice. Whew.
Junis made it? Yeah, no problem.
Does he get any will bonuses? No, he doesn't. No.
I don't think so. Nice.
Oh, that was okay. That was cool. Hobie, boom,
That's
nice.
great. But no one. It's only Matt who's suffering some. Maybe that's why he missed as well. It's just it was such a wild shot. Okay, so Millar and Hobie, what are they doing?
Man, I think Millar is gonna get. So, what does she know what can hurt this thing?
Does she know which? Sorry.
Millar know what can hurt this thing?
This thing is very difficult to injure with a roll that good. It's immune from cold and fire. It's immune from being charmed or frightened. Weapons, unless they are magical, do limited damage to it. And even spells they only take half damage from it, and they gain a boon to resist spells. But iron is anathema to them. One other thing. When you carve these things, the fires of hell may spew forth from it. So be careful in close range. That's something that I'm guessing Millar is sort of shouting out to everyone. So what would you like to do?
You should get it. Woo. All right. I think she's going to Earth Spike it real fast.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll Earth Spike it.
Okay, so I think, what is that? That's an intellect check, isn't it?
Yes, it a sharp spike and target's agility.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
And Hobie will get levels less than.
Nice. Oh, this thing is also burned by sunlight, you guys. You also know that as well. Whoa, nice. So what is it? Does that knock it prone? If you click on the spell, Steve,
it does. Let's have a little look here and expect that.
It's probably easier.
Hold on here. Okay, so a sharp spike erupts on a fast target. 1d6 falls prone. Put 20 plus the target.
Yeah.
6 damage and falls prone.
Great. Roll 2d6.
All right.
And this thing is knocked prone. And then it's Hobie's turn. What's he gonna do? Okay. So then it's Hobie's turn. What's he gonna do?
Noise. He's gonna bust out the phantasm.
Okay. Oops, wrong one. So
what is it? What is it that they're vulnerable to?
Sorry, Steve. You're breaking
Hellhound?
Exactly. Jeff, are you having a hard time understanding him too?
Yeah, Steve's cutting out for sure.
What is it? Hellhounds are vulnerable to?
Hold on, Steve. Listen, because your connection's so bad right now, Steve, what I'm just going to do is just post the rules for Phantasm in the chat. Here. So there you
Asking
go.
something about a hellhound.
Okay, so you're going to create an illusion.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool. So, sorry, Steve, what is the illusion going to be?
So, sorry, what are they vulnerable to? Hellhounds?
Right.
Cold and iron.
Ice?
It's immune to cold. Immune to damage, cold, immune to fire, but it is vulnerable. It burned by the presence of sunlight.
Sunlight, hey? Okay. So this phantasm will be that there is a portal that opens up over top of the hellhound and shines sunlight down on it.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so I think it's, hold on. Because there's a 20 plus on there. It makes me think that there is an attack roll.
Right.
It's not listed there as one, but...
Illusion phantasm. Wow. It's an illusion attack roll.
Oh, make an intellect roll against target's perception.
Nice.
No, you know what? Sorry, Stevie. I'll make it make a perception roll.
Okay.
So let's see here. Nice. Okay. So, are there any banes or anything? All right, I'm gonna give it one bane on that just because it's very specific. Ooh. Okay. So, Steve, would you kindly roll 3d6 for me?
Oh yeah.
No, roll 5d6 for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, wait. 5d6 rolling. Kapow. 17.
Nice. So this thing is writhing on the ground as blisters are forming on its skin. It's smoldering. It's reacting as if it's in actual sunlight. So how long does this thing last? Is it 1 minute? 1 hour. Holy shit.
1 hour. Yeah.
Wow. So it's going to have to like leap. Okay, great. So now it is, let's see here. They've gone. Why doesn't Trader go? And then Junus.
Okay. The problem here is Trader does not have much to do against this evil beast. Like Malar warned not to physically attack it.
Millar warned that if it's struck, flames will come out. Trader can actually make a roll as well, an occult check, and you get to see what he knows about it.
Millar?
So not Millar, Trader could. Yeah, okay. So you likewise know this is a Barghest. A Barghest is like a fey hound of hell, effectively.
Yeah.
This thing, when you slice its flesh, flames will erupt from within.
That doesn't sound like something he wants to do.
No.
Like, he just really doesn't have... He's kind of our fighter against a lot of things, but against this, he's kind of weak.
You can, what do you call it?
Spells or range attacks.
With a roll that, you rolled good enough to get a success. You know that it isn't, like, there are tales of fey hunt, like, nimble fey hunting these things and dancing out of the way of the flames, but slower creatures are just consumed by them as they hack it down.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll cast his Beast Within spell.
Okay.
Your eyes glow, fur covers your body, so in fact, for him, his feathers, they almost like get longer and sharper like blades. His claws get longer, his beak gets sharper, and he can fly faster.
Awesome. Okay. And he is going to move as well, too, if he likes.
Yeah, he'll circle. He'll take off Matt's shoulder and circle over top of the beast.
Okay.
Ready for an attack.
What is Junus doing? Steve-O?
Yep.
What is Junus doing?
He's going to. The only thing he knows how to do is going to run in there and then give him his.
Because he's got a slow turn, he can actually move and use a triggered action and whatever. So if you wanted to use your dueling thing, you could do that. The feint.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack. You get one extra boon because of the this thing is prone.
Nice. So so we'll do our guarded feint. Is that right?
Sure.
And
okay.
so that'll give me 3 boons.
Okay.
The right. And wrong name, but that's all right. Here we go. Whoa.
That's not good.
How does that happen?
Because you only rolled a 3, it looks like.
2.
Yeah, 2. You do have fortune if you want to spend that.
Let's see here. And do I have something else too? No. Yes. Let's use fortune to roll that. Screw it.
Okay, you're not going to re-roll it. This means you succeeded. So go ahead and roll 1d6 for damage.
2d6.
No, because you didn't beat it by 20.
It does 2d6 anyways.
Oh, right, but you've already rolled damage, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. 1d6, kapow. 1.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's not a. It's enough to slice into this thing. I need you to make an agility challenge now, please. No
cool.
boons.
And I get a boon on that. I got a boon on that because of my gyroscopic stabilizer.
Oh, right. Yeah. Awesome. Go ahead and make your roll.
All right, baby. All right, here we go. Come on. Kapow, baby. 15.
Nice. So you nimbly jump to the side as this gout of flame comes out from the side of this thing. All right, so all the guys have gone. It is this thing's turn. It snarls, lurches to its feet, and it's going to try and lumber into where you guys are and out of this sunlight. So, Junus, unfortunately, you've used your triggered action, I think, right?
I did.
Didn't you? Isn't that where your feint is? Is it triggered?
Oh, nice call. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't get an attack of opportunity on this thing. This thing lumbers towards you guys, and then let's see who he's going to attack. 1, 2. I'll keep rolling here. So I get 1, 2. Hobie. So this thing, its giant mouth snarls, opens, and chomps down. I think a 17 hits. Is that right?
Yeah.
Actually, make that a 20.
No.
Okay, so then you take that's 18 points of damage as this thing and starts chomping down on your arm. It gets right past your shield and just gnawing on you. Now I'm going to remind you guys that you all have almost all of your classes have different ways of getting health back. Your immediate recoveries and shit like that. So just remember that you've got those resources available to you. Okay, end of round. This thing's not in the sunlight any longer, so it's not taking any extra damage. Top of the round. Who's taking fast turns and slow turns? This thing is going to take a slow turn.
Does it matter that it was prone last turn?
It was prone last turn. Yeah, you know what? Sorry, take that damage away, Steve. I'm cheating.
Yay!
Sorry, so it's bearing down on Hobie though. Way to work the rules though. Fucking cheating.
Nice.
No, you're absolutely right. It would have had to spend one of its actions to get up. So, all right. So, this thing's going to go, like I said, on a slow turn. Who would like to go? Is everyone going the way they're marked, or?
I believe so.
Yes.
Okay. So, who wants to take the first fast turn?
Do one of your guys.
Hobie can just move the phantasm over to where the thing is now.
Oh, so can you move it?
Yep.
That is awesome.
Put it away.
That is awesome. Okay.
Yep.
So, you know what? I just rolled a fucking 1. Would you kindly roll another 5d6 in damage?
Sir. All right. Obey, hey. Boom. Oh, and he gets to re-roll ones, doesn't he? Isn't that his ability?
I believe so. So go ahead and roll 2d6.
Hold on, I just want to check that one.
That's
determined when I roll a 1 on a die from Boone, I can re-roll the die and choose.
So not from damage.
Oh, okay. Boons.
Okay.
Okay, G-Bill. All right.
So this
That'd be pretty powerful.
This thing is once again, its flesh is being burned. It howls out in anguish and fury. Next up, who? Millar or Matt?
Matt will fire again.
Go ahead.
So he has 1 Bane and 1 Boon, so they balance out.
Yeah. So this is natural roll.
Here we go. Fire. Damn it.
Still not quite good. This thing, you hit it again, but it sort of does negligible amounts of damage to it. Okay, so then Millar, what's she doing?
Millar is going to do a sexy dance. She's going to do Earth Spike.
Okay. Make sure you're spending your mana from your guys too, Steve, when you're using those.
Right, I didn't do that. Just this turn. Hold on here. Oh wait, yeah.
So it should have been 4 mana for Phantasm.
You're right.
Oh right, and mana's +1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll go down to 29 here. Here we go. And then she's going to cast Earth Spike.
Okay.
Earth Spike is got the roller right there. Any boons for that? No, I don't think so. Hobie has used his triggered action. Who cares? The plow. What did I just get there? 12 versus agility.
I don't think that works properly. The dice roller on that, because there's a D. Yeah,
right.
I don't think the math is right. That's why we're rolling just the intellect separately. Because we've had it show up before as like 46 when we've used it.
Okay, you want me to roll? I think it's will.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay. Boons and banes and that. Okay. 22.
Oh, awesome. So look at that. And then you get that
2d6.
crit. Nice. So once again, roll 2d6 for me, please. And this thing is knocked to the ground.
What's up? 8.
Nice. Okay. All right. Then it's still slow turn. So Trader and Junus get to go. Maybe let's go with Trader next.
Sure. Trader will do his shape change. So he changes from a bird into whatever the mid form is called, where he's half bird, half goblin. And when he does that, it does do something to his enemies. I don't know if it matters to these. There's like a intimidation or a fear or... Wait a minute. Isn't there?
If I don't remember. I don't see your.
If someone like I can't remember, but if like they've never seen it before, it was frightening to them or something.
Oh yes, this thing's immune to fear though.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I was just trying to remember what it's been a long time since I've used all these things.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he flutters down and he attacks this thing.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
So
Screech and you go racing.
Defense is up. Health. Okay.
You get an extra boon because it's prone too.
Oh, it is prone. So I get. I use my trickery.
Yep.
And that gives me a boon.
Yep.
And okay, so I have 2 boons.
I think so.
Shit, it's been such a long time. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We've been. I think it's been a while since we've actually had combat.
E-strike does something else too.
Your attacks deal 1d6 extra damage when you make an attack roll with 1 boon. That's from Dirty Tricks. And you can use trickery twice per round.
Oh, right. The trickery grants me boon.
Yeah. The 1 boon and your attacks deal, if you use the boon, the attack deals 1 extra damage. So basically, you'll get 2d6 extra from your Dirty Tricks and from trickery for damage.
Right. All right. So I roll agility?
Yes, please.
And I have 2 boons.
Whoa, that's 20 plus. So is anything trigger?
Yeah.
Yes, you can take another turn at any point before the end of the round.
Yeah.
So let's roll your damage from this, and that means you can also use your trickery again on the second attack.
Right.
So go ahead and roll damage from that claw.
So is it 2 or 3d6?
We got 2 extras, and then I think your beast form doesn't it add plus 1d6 to it?
Yeah. Dirty Tricks is 1d6 extra. Right. Yeah, I think it's
4 actually, because it should be 1d6 on your base, 1d6 from your beast form, 1d6 from trickery, and 1d6 because of that's the way that from Dirty Tricks.
Oh yeah, it's extra 1d6 from beast form then.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 46, and I can spend my key to do 1, but it's just 1 time.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. Okay.
Nice. And go ahead and make your attack roll again.
So this one is without 1 boon. So it's only 1 boon if he's still prone then.
That's right. Although remember, no, because you can still now you can use trickery twice per round. So you get
Oh, because I've gone up in level?
Yeah, because level 5, you got it twice per level. Or twice per round.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bam.
Ooh. Roll 46 again.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So on this thing's turn, it lumbers to its feet, or bleeding. And I do need Trader to make 2 agility checks for me, please. And actually, and then it's Junis. I forgot. So make it 2 agility challenges for Trader, and then what is Junis going to do?
Oh God.
Okay, Junis is going to.
One's probably good and one's probably bad.
Okay, so Trader takes 8 points of fire damage as it catches him, singeing his fur or his feathers. What is Junis doing?
Okay, just I just want to put a slight issue. So in Phantasm, it's got two sort of things that it can do. One is where you create an area attack creature which moves.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what was happening. You're creating a zone that was dangerous for it.
Okay. Right. And so is that okay that it moved? Can we leave that, or you want me to take a turn again?
Say again? Well,
want me to take that again, or are you going to leave it?
That won't affect Junis whatsoever because sunlight doesn't hurt you guys.
No, I just meant that, like, it's actually, I'm either supposed to make a zone that doesn't move or a creature that does. So is the portal a creature that moves?
Oh, I see. You know what, Steve? That's fine. We'll just make sure we play it that way going forward.
Okay.
This is a Fate Tower, so that's fucked up. If we screwed up, that's the way it worked.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so what's Junis going to do?
All right. Junis is going to do, I think, a repeat of last turn. He's going to come crashing in. And, yeah.
Okay, so he goes charging in, and go ahead and make your attack roll.
All righty. How messed up is this thing?
1 extra boon because it's prone.
Noise. How messed up is this thing?
I'll remind you, Hobie hasn't used his triggered action yet, so he could use whatever it was, a prayer or whatever the thing is that gives the extra boon.
Sure. So that'll give him, actually 4 boons. And
yeah,
then,
and then
one.
I think if he hits, he also does 1 extra damage too. 1 extra dice of damage.
No, that's right too. So that's okay. An extra d6. Let's do it. Okay. Here we go.
Here we go. Big
4
money.
boons.
Big money. Big money.
That's right, baby. Hold on a second. I can't.
I see.
There you go. Battle axe. 4 boons. Good roll, baby. 19.
Hey, nice. It's not a crit, but it's still good enough. So roll 3d6 for your extra. No, 2d6 for your extra.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're right. 2d6. Kapla, 1 + 1. Boo. Hey, don't I re-roll some? No, I don't think so.
Okay. And I believe that's it. Okay, so this thing lumbers to its feet. Oh, I need an agility challenge from Junis, please.
Oh, yes. Boon. And 1 boon. Come on, baby. Pow. Nice.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. You dance out of the way of the burst of or the gout of flame that comes out of this thing. So this thing, like I said, lumbers to its feet. It turns, and you hear again that it looks at you, and the voice echoes in your mind again. Interlopers, pay. And it leaps towards Hobie, but there's this. Basically, it just disappears into this like swirling cloud of like it basically as if it jumped into an invisible portal and it was cleaved with like burning coals, and it vanishes, and the stink of sulfur is heavy in here. And you guys look around, and it seems to be gone. What are you doing? So there's a few tense moments as you guys are looking around trying to find this thing, and it does not appear.
And if it's the end of the round, Trader heals for 1d6.
Okay, so gets that. Would you guys all make perception challenges for me too, please? We're almost finished up here too, guys. I know we're going over time here. Yeah, Trader's not. He's still distracted by the. Okay, so that's enough. Yeah, that's good enough, guys. Millar, you notice that there is now a key in that keyhole. Sorry, Jeff, what were you going to say?
Oh, I said Trader was just busy knocking the singe off of his feathers.
Yeah.
He didn't notice.
Like I said, there's that key in there in the keyhole now. What would you guys like to do?
Matt loves turning keys.
He loves
turning keys. Matt walks over and looks at everyone, shrugs his shoulders, and turns the key.
Okay. There's a audible kind of as like something turns, and then you see the seam sort of spreads along the side of the wall, and there's a door there. And once the key is fully turned, it transforms into a brass knob for a door that you're able to pull back.
Open the door.
So you open the door, and there's a stink of like sweat and unwashed flesh and offal in here. It reeks. There is a hallway that leads down, and then there's it's completely black or dark in the hallway, but at the far end of this hallway that stretches about 30 or 40 feet, there seems to be a red glow in a small room. And you can hear a soft muttering in there.
Very good time.
What are you going to
do? Head in, I guess.
Okay.
I could eavesdrop.
The hallway is like a narrow thing, so only one of you is going to be able to go at a turn. Who's going first?
I mean, I guess Matt opened the door, so he'll start walking.
So Matt starts walking down. He's regained his nerve at this point, but I'm guessing he's got his revolver and his sonic screwdriver out.
Yeah, for sure.
And as you get closer to the end of the hallway, you can hear this muttering is actually in Elvish. And the person there is saying, they say, yes, this way here, this we can do this, and this, it has to be, no, wrong spot, your base, redo, God, must do this, hurry, and then over here, yes, of course, on top, and then now down here, and over here, and this, and this. And as you get closer, you see then this form wearing a gray, filthy shawl, kind of scampers from one side to the next. You sort of are startled for a second, and keeps on muttering. And as you get closer, you realize that the inside of this, it's actually a small, like, cube-shaped room. And within here, there are walls that have just been scrawled with some kind of bizarre drawings on top of drawings on top of drawings, to the point where it's almost indecipherable. And you're going in here, and then you see that the form of this is a form that seems to be dipping something, like as if it's in a like a pallet, and then brings this feather up and is writing on the wall. It's a white feather. You realize as well that this thing's fur, or rather it's hair, because it's got a shawl around its shoulders, but long, what at first you think is white or bluish hair, but it's actually feathers. And this thing, you hear a crick, and it reaches down or tosses this feather down, and you see there's a ton of these feathers sitting on the ground, scattered everywhere. Each of them is broken with a bloodied bit on the end, or a stained bit on the end. And this thing reaches into the back of its hair or feathers and yanks another out, and then goes back to its palate and begins drawing something up in the same dark color. What do you do?
He says, hello.
What language do you say that in?
Probably What was he speaking in?
Elvish.
Oh, in Elvish, then, I guess.
Okay, so you say that, and then this turns around, and it's this. The elves are an immortal species; they live forever. This elf, however, looks incredibly haggard, and his cheeks are sunken in. His eyes are yellowed and jaundiced. He has big, light gray irises with no pupil. And you see with horror that he has no palate. What he's doing is jabbing his feather into an open wound on his wrist to dab with blood and then draw on the walls. And he looks at you and sort of like, and then he smiles, and his teeth are disgusting and hideous. And he says to you in Elvish, "Is it time to retrieve the weapons?" And at that, we will end the session and end the mystery of the Moon Tower. So next session, guys, we will pick up. We'll do some downtime at the start of next session, transition to what's happened between this session and the next, and you will also gain a level. So you guys will be level 6. So level 6, you get, I believe it is a expert path ability. Is that right?
I think it's a cool shit.
Yes. So I'll update your characters between now and then too. I'm not sure if you have any spell selections to make, but just check your expert.
Oh, I do.
There are. Make those selections, and then next session will be the Mines of Madness. So cool. For those listening at home, thanks so much for sticking with us through this third and final episode of the Moon Tower. And we hope you enjoyed, and we hope to see you again soon.